Ladies, what I'm about to share with you might literally save your life. Did you know that over 70% of women over 50 are walking around with a dangerous mineral deficiency that's silently destroying their bones, heart, and brain? And here's the shocking part, most doctors never even test for it. This invisible thief is stealing your energy, ruining your sleep, causing muscle cramps, and setting you up for heart problems, osteoporosis, and even dementia. But the most heartbreaking part? It's completely preventable and reversible when you know what to do. I'm talking about magnesium deficiency, and honey, this is not just another vitamin talk. This is about understanding why your body is crying out for help and how one simple change can transform your health from the inside out. Stay with me because by the end of this conversation, you'll know exactly how to spot the warning signs your body has been sending you and the natural, science-backed way to fix this before it's too late. Before we dive deeper, I want you to do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. I know, everyone asks for that, but here's why this matters for you specifically. Every week, I share practical, natural health solutions that are specifically researched and tested for women like us. No complicated medical jargon, no expensive treatments, just real science translated into simple daily actions that work. Your future self will thank you for staying connected to information that could literally add healthy years to your life. Now, let me ask you something. Have you been feeling more tired lately, even after a full night's sleep? Do you get those annoying muscle twitches or cramps, especially in your legs at night? Maybe your heart sometimes feels like it's beating irregularly, or you find yourself feeling anxious for no real reason. What about headaches that seem to come out of nowhere, or constipation that just won't resolve no matter what you try? Here's what most women don't realize. These aren't just signs of getting older. These are your body's desperate signals that it's running dangerously low on one of the most important minerals for every single cell in your body. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. Think of it as the conductor of your body's orchestra. When the conductor is missing, everything falls apart. But here's where it gets really concerning for us as women. After menopause, our magnesium needs actually increase while our ability to absorb it decreases. It's like a cruel joke nature plays on us right when we need this mineral the most. Your estrogen levels drop, which affects how your kidneys handle magnesium. Your digestive system becomes less efficient at pulling magnesium from your food. And if you're taking calcium supplements without magnesium, you're actually making the problem worse. Let me share something that happened to my friend Martha. She's 62, always been health conscious, walks every day, eats her vegetables. But she started having these terrible leg cramps at night that would wake her up. Her doctor ran the standard blood panel, everything looked normal, so he suggested it was just age-related and maybe she should take some over-the-counter pain relievers. But Martha knew her body, and she knew something wasn't right. That's when she learned about the magnesium connection. See, here's something most people don't know. The standard blood test for magnesium that most doctors order only shows the magnesium floating around in your bloodstream. But 99% of your body's magnesium is actually stored in your bones, muscles, and organs. Your blood will maintain normal magnesium levels by literally stealing it from your bones and tissues. So you can have a normal blood test while your body is desperately deficient. This is why magnesium deficiency is called the invisible deficiency. Your body is cannibalizing itself to keep that blood test looking normal, while your bones get weaker, your muscles cramp, your heart rhythm becomes irregular, and your sleep gets disrupted. Martha started supplementing with magnesium, but not just any magnesium. This is crucial, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Within 2 weeks, her leg cramps disappeared. Within a month, she was sleeping better than she had in years. But the most amazing change was her energy. She told me she felt like she'd been walking around in a fog and suddenly everything was clear again. Now, you might be thinking, well, I'll just grab some magnesium at the drugstore. But hold on, because this is where most people make a costly mistake. Not all magnesium is created equal, and some forms can actually cause more problems than they solve. Magnesium oxide, which is what you'll find in most cheap supplements, has less than 4% absorption rate. That means if you take a 500 mg tablet, your body might only absorb about 20 milligrams. The rest just passes through and often causes digestive upset. It's literally money down the drain, or in this case, money down the toilet. The forms that actually work are magnesium glycinate for better sleep and muscle relaxation, magnesium citrate for constipation and general deficiency, and magnesium threonate for brain health. These are chelated forms, which means they're bound to amino acids that help your body actually absorb and use them. But here's what I find even more exciting than supplementation, and this is where the real magic happens. There are natural, food-based ways to dramatically increase your magnesium intake that most people have never heard of. And some of these foods are so rich in bioavailable magnesium that they can literally transform your levels in a matter of weeks. Let me tell you about something fascinating. Dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard are obviously good sources of magnesium. We all know that. But did you know that the way you prepare them can either multiply their magnesium availability or destroy it? Lightly steaming these greens actually breaks down the cell walls and makes the magnesium more accessible to your body. But boiling them leaches the magnesium into the water, which most people just pour down the drain. Here's a simple trick I learned from a nutritionist who specializes in mineral absorption. When you steam your greens, save that water and use it as a base for soups or smoothies. That water is loaded with magnesium and other minerals that would otherwise be wasted. But vegetables aren't the only answer, especially for those of us who need to dramatically increase our magnesium intake quickly. This is where things get really interesting, and it's connected to something our grandmothers knew instinctively but we've somehow forgotten in our modern world. Raw cacao, not the processed chocolate we're used to, but real, raw cacao, is one of the highest sources of magnesium in the natural world. 1 ounce contains about 64 milligrams of highly bioavailable magnesium. But here's the beautiful part. You can create delicious, satisfying treats that actually heal your body instead of harming it. I make what I call my magnesium recovery smoothie. Raw cacao powder, a handful of spinach that you can't even taste, some almond butter for healthy fats, a frozen banana for sweetness, and a splash of unsweetened almond milk. This one smoothie delivers over 200 milligrams of easily absorbed magnesium, plus it tastes like a chocolate milkshake. It's like medicine that actually makes you happy to take it. But let's talk about something even more powerful, and this is where I see the most dramatic transformations in the women I work with. Combining magnesium-rich foods with specific lifestyle practices that enhance absorption and utilization. Here's something that will surprise you. Chronic stress doesn't just make you feel bad emotionally, it literally depletes your magnesium stores. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, and cortisol causes your kidneys to dump magnesium. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in the bottom. You can take all the magnesium in the world, but if you don't address the stress, you'll keep losing it faster than you can replace it. This is where the mind-body connection becomes so important for our health. Simple practices like deep breathing, gentle yoga, or even just taking a warm bath with Epsom salts can help your body hold on to the magnesium you're giving it. Epsom salt baths, by the way, are magnesium sulfate, and your skin can actually absorb magnesium transdermally. It's like giving your muscles a direct magnesium massage from the inside out. I learned this from Dr. Carolyn Dean, who's been researching magnesium for over 20 years. She found that women who combined magnesium supplementation with stress reduction techniques had significantly better results than those who just took supplements alone. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. We're not just machines that need more minerals dumped in. We're complex systems where everything affects everything else. Now, let me share something that might change how you think about calcium forever. We've been told for decades to take calcium for our bones, especially as we get older. But calcium without magnesium is not just useless, it can be dangerous. Magnesium is what allows calcium to actually get into your bones where it belongs. Without enough magnesium, that calcium can end up in your arteries, causing hardening and blockages, or in your joints, causing stiffness and pain. The ideal ratio is 2 parts calcium to 1 part magnesium, but most of us are getting way too much calcium and nowhere near enough magnesium. This imbalance might actually be contributing to the high rates of heart disease and osteoporosis in older women, despite all the calcium supplementation we've been doing. Sarah, another friend of mine, had been taking calcium supplements for 10 years because her doctor told her to prevent osteoporosis. But her bone density scans kept showing decline, and she started having kidney stones. When she learned about the calcium-magnesium connection and switched to a balanced approach with more emphasis on magnesium, not only did her kidney stones stop forming, but her next bone density scan showed improvement for the first time in years. This is why I get so passionate about sharing this information. It's not just about one mineral or one supplement. It's about understanding how your body really works and giving it what it needs to thrive, not just survive. But here's where things get even more interesting, and this connects to brain health in ways that most people never consider. Your brain uses magnesium for neurotransmitter function, memory formation, and protecting against cognitive decline. Several studies have shown that people with higher magnesium intake have larger brain volumes and less age-related brain shrinkage. Think about that for a moment. Something as simple as ensuring adequate magnesium intake might be one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your mind as you age. We're not talking about expensive treatments or complicated protocols. We're talking about a mineral that's available in natural foods and safe, affordable supplements. I remember reading about a study done in China where they followed older adults for several years and found that those with the highest magnesium intake had a 40% lower risk of developing dementia. 40%. That's not a small difference. That's life-changing. But let's bring this back to practical, everyday life. How do you know if you're getting enough magnesium, and how do you increase your intake in realistic, sustainable ways? First, pay attention to your body's signals. Better sleep, fewer muscle cramps, more stable energy throughout the day, less anxiety, and better digestion are all signs that your magnesium levels are improving. These changes often happen within days or weeks of increasing your intake, so you don't have to wait months to know if it's working. Second, focus on magnesium-rich foods as your foundation. Dark leafy greens, nuts and seeds, especially pumpkin seeds and almonds, avocados, dark chocolate or raw cacao, and whole grains like quinoa and brown rice. But here's a key point. The magnesium content in foods has declined significantly over the past 50 years due to soil depletion, so even if you eat perfectly, you might still need additional support. Third, consider supplementation, but do it intelligently. Start with about 300 to 400 milligrams of a well-absorbed form like magnesium glycinate or citrate. Take it with food to improve absorption and reduce the chance of digestive upset. And here's a little-known tip: split your dose throughout the day rather than taking it all at once. Your body can only absorb so much at one time. Fourth, address the things that deplete magnesium. Excessive caffeine, alcohol, processed foods high in sugar, and chronic stress all rob your body of magnesium. You don't have to be perfect, but being aware of these factors helps you make better choices. And fifth, be patient but persistent. If you've been deficient for months or years, it takes time to replenish your body's stores. Some people feel better within days, others need several weeks. Your body is incredibly resilient and wants to heal, but it needs consistent support. Now, I want to address something that I know some of you might be thinking. What about getting too much magnesium? Is that possible? The truth is, it's very difficult to get too much magnesium from food sources because your kidneys are very good at regulating levels. With supplements, the main side effect of too much magnesium is loose stools, which is actually your body's natural safety mechanism. If that happens, just reduce your dose until you find the amount that works for you. Here's something beautiful about focusing on natural health solutions like optimizing your magnesium intake. It's not just about fixing one problem. When you give your body what it truly needs, you often see improvements in areas you didn't even expect. Better sleep leads to better mood and energy. Less muscle tension leads to better posture and less pain. Improved heart rhythm leads to better circulation and brain function. Everything is connected. This is so different from the conventional approach of treating each symptom separately with different medications that often cause side effects requiring more medications. When you work with your body's natural healing systems, you get multiple benefits from single, simple interventions. I think about women like my grandmother, who lived to be 96 and was sharp and energetic almost to the end. She didn't know about magnesium specifically, but she ate real food, managed stress through simple daily practices, stayed connected to nature, and listened to her body's signals. We can learn from that wisdom and combine it with what we now know scientifically about how nutrition affects aging and health. The exciting news is that it's never too late to start supporting your body better. I've seen women in their 70s and 80s make significant improvements in their energy, sleep, and overall well-being by addressing fundamental nutritional needs like magnesium. Your body is constantly regenerating and healing itself. Give it the raw materials it needs, and it will amaze you with its resilience. Before we wrap up, I want you to make sure you're subscribed to this channel because what I'm going to share in my next video builds perfectly on what we've talked about today. You now understand why magnesium is so crucial and how deficiency develops silently over time. But what if I told you there's one specific food that contains over 700 milligrams of bioavailable magnesium in a single serving? This food is so powerful for seniors that it can literally transform your magnesium status in weeks, not months. It's something that's been used for centuries in traditional medicine but is just now being recognized by modern nutrition science. In my next video, I'm going to reveal exactly what this superfood is, how to prepare it for maximum absorption, and why every senior needs to know about it. The title is Seniors Need to Eat 700 milligrams magnesium in one food, and trust me, this information could be the missing piece in your health puzzle. Take care of yourself, beautiful. You deserve to feel energetic, strong, and vibrant at every age. Small, consistent changes in how you nourish your body can create profound transformations in how you feel and age. Start paying attention to your magnesium intake today, and watch how your body responds with gratitude and renewed vitality.